Good, sounds good to me.
And we are live. What's going on, y'all? And my name is Random. I am your humble host. Us reacting to week 2. I'm here with Mo. The rest of the squad will join us when they join us, but we're gonna keep it real slick. We're probably gonna talk for about an hour, and we might actually even throw it out to some of y'all to talk to us about to talk to us a real quick about what y'all thought about week 2. But Mo, let's start with you. How was your week 2 football Sunday? I and don't worry, we'll talk about your game. We will talk about your game. All right. But before we start glazing, and that is rightful glaze, talk to me about your football experience today.
Oh man, it was a lot of good games. I was a little disappointed. New England didn't pull out that dub today. Uh, they played a hell of a game. Seattle stepped up. DK Metcalf had a pretty good game today. It turned out that I didn't expect that, but it happened. But yeah, it was pretty good, man. It was some pretty good games today, man.
Mhm.
It was some really good games today. Vikings pulled out a dub today. Wow, I was not expecting that at all. Not expecting that, bro. That's Sam Darnold is he's on something right now, man. I don't know what it is. You need to share some of that, but he's on something, right? He's on something right now. I
All
got
right. You know what? No, I'm gonna do Marley. Marley, look, I'm not saying nothing, Marley, but you see what he said, Hefe? But you know what? Let's start. You know what, Mo? Let's not even waste time. Let's talk about your Saints. They walk into Dallas and whip ass from start to finish. The
oh
hottest offense in the league, starting off. Derek Carr, rumors of his demise apparently seem like they've been greatly exaggerated because he was cooking.
oh
But
yeah.
Mo, go ahead, go ahead. I'm gonna give you a couple minutes. Go ahead and just start. Call whoever you need to call out. Talk about your team. Go ahead, bro.
Let me first off let me just by saying this start by saying this. Derek Carr, you could have did better. You definitely did better. A lot of people gonna think that I'm being disrespectful right now, but there was definitely some passes he missed. Um, he could have made more passes. He's the way to misses is and throw as little as he did. But on the bright side of it, he came to work today. He came to work today. Alvin Kamara had, in my opinion, player of the week performance. Uh, Raheem Shaheed, Chris Olave, everybody had a good game, bro. It's come on, man. And I tried to tell, he's not here. I'll wait on him. We can wait on him as long as it's possible.
Mhm.
Mike was stuck on that. Everybody was stuck on Rondell too. Rondell, I know you out there. You probably watching. Uh, yeah, man. It was a great day today. It was a great day for New Orleans. Great day.
So
Number fourth for the most points scored within 2 games of all time.
y'all was absolutely cooking. Y'all was absolutely cooking. Look, I'm not gonna hold you. Obviously, I don't think a lot of people. I didn't expect Dallas to get dominated the way they were. These are the type of losses that show why people don't believe in Dallas. Why Mike is so down on Dallas as he is. I'm not saying y'all couldn't beat them, but you ain't getting beat down like that at your crib, like
Yeah.
that. Like that
No, no,
go ahead,
that
Mo. Go.
quarterback and your top receiver just got paid.
It was
Those
tough,
guys
It was tough because I'm looking at the box score right now. They had Dak 27 for 39, 293, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. They didn't really get a lot from the running game. I thought the Saints were very stout. I'm not obviously nobody's accusing or nobody claimed that Dallas has a great running game, but they didn't mess around with that at all. 21 rushes for 68 yards as a team. Look, CD had four catches for 90 yards, but it was just a butt. It was just a Bart. They just whipped their ass. That's all it was. They just whipped their ass. And Shaheed, Riddell said in the Telegram, Shaheed may be not that deep threat weapon that might turn the league around. The second year in a row or second game in a row, we caught a massive touchdown, like a long touchdown, because it always just feels like, hey man, Shaheed down there somewhere. I mean, that's second straight game with him catching a 70-yarder, right? Yeah. Or taking some 70 yards. So they were great. But I wish Mike was here because we definitely need to hear from him about
Come on, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, he said he's gonna be here. We're only gonna go for about an hour. And I want to leave at least 15 minutes where we talk about the Monday night game a little bit, just see what's going on. But let's move on. Let's save it. Let's save it for when Mike gets here so that you can get a little nasty on him, Mo, because I know you want to. I know you want to. So let's move on to the next game, because I think the big thing about this week was we had to see what the Bucs were about. Check their temperature a little bit, and a couple of really big upsets.
I gotta eat that because I had that the opposite. I gotta eat that.
Oh, but look who's here. So let mine. Hold on, Michael. The victor goes first. Mo, go ahead.
Where do you want to start? I'd love to hear your rebuttal for why you think. I would like to hear you repeat what you said yesterday with why they would be this. Can you explain that for me, Mike?
I didn't hear what you said. You cut out.
Oh, that's
Just
okay.
Say it again.
Yeah, that's okay. I can repeat it for you. Okay. Can you repeat for me and for the show what you said, the reason that we weren't going to be able to beat up in this game?
Like, bro, I mean, I just thought that we would win. I mean, I just didn't expect Calvin Kamara to be prime Alvin Kamara. But I mean, honestly, I wasn't even mad watching that game. I was just genuinely surprised. Riddell and people who are gonna just be haters about Dak Prescott can act like that's Dak's fault. It's not Dak's fault. That's just a terrible defensive performance. Gave up 5 straight touchdowns. I mean, Derek Carr threw it 14 times. He had 229 yards by the first half.
Dak had 2 interceptions, though.
He had 2 interceptions when the game was already out of reach. Mo, all I'm saying is, were we down or were we up? We were down 38-19 before he threw the second interception. The first interception was a receiver falling down on a good pass. So I'm not worried about the Dallas offense still. But yeah, I am. I mean, the defense is, concerning. I mean, all the guys that played well last week didn't play well. And it's so funny how Mo and everybody wants to make me eat crow. This is my lock of the week. Or like I said, that Dallas is going to struggle this season. So, I mean, you guys control all you want, but I literally said this, and Mo and Hefe are the same people that were saying that I was, I should be more of a homer or something. So now all of a sudden it's a problem because I picked the Cowboys to win against a team that they should have beaten, but they got ultimately totally out game planned.
But it's no. It's okay, man. It's okay. Listen.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I don't know what you guys want me to do. You guys just want, that's the thing. And especially with you, Mo, it's okay, you guys won. I told you that I could see a world where they were winning. The one thing is I didn't expect them to blow out the Cowboys like that. But it doesn't surprise me if the Cowboys got blown out by them. Every time the Cowboys lose, they get blown out, basically. So, I mean, it's either one way or the highway. I mean, I will say I want to give credit to the Saints, though. I think Derek Carr's played extremely good. I think, I also said, Mo, you remember in the last show, I said that Trayvon Diggs versus Chris Olave is not going to be as simple as Trayvon Diggs locking up Chris Olave, and that's exactly what happened. But it was way more than I expected. So that credit to Olave, credit to Kamara. I mean, our linebacking core is suspect. Like us and the Eagles, our linebacking cores are horrible. So yeah, that's a tough game. And I also thought that we would actually wake up against the freaking Saints when we have 3 hard games coming up. Like, that's why, remember, Mo, I said, I feel like the Cowboys are going to be prepared for this game because we have 3 tough teams, or coming ahead, but they completely weren't. So I got to give the, I gotta blame Mike McCarthy. I got to blame Dak, obviously, a little bit, but I got to blame Mike McCarthy, and I really got to blame Mike Zimmer. I mean, honestly, 5 straight touchdowns. That's why I'm saying that. 5 straight touchdowns.
Hold on 1 second. Prodigy had to send a super chat up.
Shout out Prodigy too from Prodigy.
Prodigy, let me know which is this in the open field fantasy football? Or is this in the BSS one? But he said he smoked Riddell and Son with no quarterback because Tua got hurt. If you can send me the scores, because obviously you're not even worried about Monday night. Send me the scores. Let me know which league this is in, so I can send it to Riddell personally, and I can tell him you got a little nasty. That's crazy. You beat him in fantasy.
That's in the league for the show.
Oh, that's in the open field one. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't play fantasy anymore. I stopped playing 2 years ago, and it's been.
Yeah, Mo also beat me. So shout out to Mo.
Oh man, you lost. Your team lost, and you lost.
I still have Marvin Harrison, but yeah, no, I got.
Marvin Harrison went off today though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm still happy with my team. It's early in the season. I lost. I'm 1-1 though. Mo had 140. Any team that beats me by 140, I'm not mad at my team. I don't really care. But I'll give a shout out to Mo. Good job to Mo.
Hey, shout out to Mo. Mo winning in different ways today.
Right now.
Come on,
he's
man.
winning big early this season. Got to give him credit where it's due.
Obviously we will break this game in particular. We'll probably spend a little bit of time breaking it down on Wednesday, but we're gonna move on to the next game. The next game was we're gonna go on. We're gonna wait for Hefe for this one because we need he's. Oh, wait a minute. Is he here? Is he here? Is he here? Hefe, you here?
Oh, the Bucs man's here.
Yeah, he gonna bring.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, Hefe. Let me set it up. So the best game of the week, well, a lot of people would say was supposed to be before the week was the Bengals and Chiefs game, right? Every time they pull up, it's always a 1-score game. But the game that I was most interested in was this game. The Bucs going into Detroit as an early test of their temperature, because I'm not going to hold you like Hefe. I'm prepared to say some very wild things about that team, but I need them to get a couple big wins before I say it.
Swear.
And this is a big win for the Tampa Bay Bucs, who ironically, fun fact, they've started off 2-0 for the last 5 years, but they shocked the world last year. This time people know they're coming, and for them to walk into Detroit and win a hard-fought game.
Without a couple of people.
Yeah, and they won a hard-fought game. Let's go ahead and talk about it, Hefe. You are the resident Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. Go ahead and rest on your laurels.
Man, I'm disappointed. Some faces didn't show up tonight. A lot of guys chose against my squad. But it's all good. It's all good. This is going to be documented for all y'all. I'll let y'all choose against us. Because I knew we was coming. I knew how we was coming. That loss last year was personal. It hurt us, man. We needed it back in blood. We ain't got it back. I'm glad the way we did it. Dog, run game was vicious like I thought it'd be. We lost even more people during the game. Vita Vea was out. We still got it done.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you know when you watch your boy do something, you be like, that's my guy? Bro, the Bucs are my guys, bro. And I'm glad to say Baker's my quarterback. Dark horse MVP. Dude balled out. Missing right tackle. Bro, shout out to Aiden Hutchinson. Dude is a dog, bro. Legit, bro. Like he did everything he could to shut us down. But again, we just persevered and got it done.
Today. He had 4.5 sacks today. I thought the way he was going, my boy was said, no, I'm setting a record today the way he started. But go ahead, Hefe. Sorry to interrupt.
Man, but I'm proud of the way the game went, man. I love it. I wouldn't have wanted it no other way. No other way.
Wait, I want to give credit to the Bucs, but since Hefe already said everything he said, like, I just want to crash out. Like, oh my God, like, I can't believe the Lions lost that game, and I can't believe that Jared Goff, choked like he always does against pressure. It just hurts my soul to see. And, ultimately, I'm just really confused with the Lions right now. I understand the run game's still really good, but you're not giving the ball to Sam Laporta at all, and I feel like that's because he's getting a decent amount of attention out there. And, one of the plays I looked to in this game was I think it was the second pick from Goff, where it was like third down. He looks at Laporta. Laporta seems to like be covered by at least two people, and he just throws it in the middle of the field to a linebacker with nobody there, and like also the fact that Hutchinson had 4.5 sacks and 5 tackles in this game, and you end up losing. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Baker or the Bucs. I think Baker played well, and I think the Bucs are just a solid team. But I just, this game is on Jared Goff. There's no other explanation of why. And I also question the Lions offensive coordinator. Why is Sam Laporta not getting the ball? Because if you want to make a safety net for Jared Goff under pressure, you need to get some plays where he actually can get open. And until they do that, when they come across teams that are going to be tough, if they're just relying on Jared Goff to make plays, I mean, I'm not necessarily sure you can make that happen. So,
well, I will say this for the one thing I'm always like, who said it? Marley said it in the chat. Jared Goff throwing 55 times is no recipe for a win.
That's ridiculous.
And he didn't need. It felt like the OC just kind of like, we need to pass to win this game, when I don't think so. No. For instance, like when you look at it, Jahmyr Gibbs was actually very effective running the ball. I understand Vita Vea left the game, Hefe, but he was 13 carries for 84 yards. I think David Montgomery leads at least 15 carries a game. He's just a bruiser. It takes a little while. He did end up having a touchdown. But one thing I think that they really tried to do was get Amon-Ra. They really want to get him the ball. They really felt like they really wanted to force feed him. He had 11 catches for 119 yards, but this is where I was like, Laporta, it could be at one point, maybe after Kelsey retires, he could be in the argument for the best tight end in the league. You need him only having 3 targets is crazy. He caught 2 of them for 13 yards, but he should have been more involved in the game than he was. So this was a gut check game. I'm not concerned about the Lions in terms of their future, but this was a gut check game that a lot of people said in the chat that the Bucs just wanted it more. Baker, while he may have not had a big statistical game, he got out of a lot. It felt like Aiden Hutchinson was a monster. He could have more sacks, but Baker was just making plays. Even his rushing touchdown was great. He took somebody's ankles.
Yeah.
On a run. He took somebody's
about
ankles.
It's like I don't even care about him getting sacked that much, because obviously Aiden Hutchinson was just playing out of his mind. But it's about not turning the ball over in those situations. And besides, I think he threw a pick. I'm not sure.
Baker did throw a pick today.
Yeah, but besides that, I mean, he played very well.
It was a great play by the DB. It was a great play by the DB.
Yeah, but you couldn't have played it no better than that. Baker couldn't have threw it no better. He couldn't have played it no better.
Exactly.
It was just
right. Yeah. That's the point. Is like, Baker played very well, even with a big amount of pressure. And that's something that Goff can't really do that well. So, like, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of looking to that. Like, how because I think a lot of people would have said last year that Goff had the better season. But will Baker Mayfield have a better season than Goff? And right now, I think that there's a very good chance that Baker Mayfield will end up having a better season if he can continue to play like this in pressure. I understand it's 2 weeks. But if he does this for the whole season, I mean, they look very good.
But think about it, Mike. It's 2 weeks and Baker is playing electric. I knew nobody, and this is all respect to the guys, but I knew nobody was going to give Baker for his props for doing what he did against the Commanders. We all seen the Commanders coming into the regular season. We knew what they would be. But I seen differences from last year to this year to steps Baker has made to be better. More efficient drives early. That was amazing. You could say it was the switch of the OC. You could say and shout out to Liam Cohen, bro. Liam Cohen called up a beautiful scheme for missing the right tackle. Like, we had to put that guy on the island sometimes, bro. And Aiden ate off of that. He ate off of that. But man, like, when we get Luke Gadecki back, bro, when we see them in the playoffs, we know what to expect. And I think it'll be even better when we see them in the playoffs again.
Well, I will say this for the Bucs going forward. They need to find a consistent running game. Baker should not be leading your team in rushing. And I don't think they have a guy who can salt the game away. Like, obviously, Bucky Irvin is a guy who's very versatile. Same with Rachaad White. Can Rachaad White eventually be that guy? I don't know. But
I don't speaking on that, Riddell, I don't think, like, it is all, I love Rachaad White, bro. But he's not the guy. He's not the guy, bro. And we need that David Montgomery type back to hit the gap, head down, shoulders low, and just hitting the gap and going, not really worrying about if it's going to open up elsewhere. Like, that's the only thing Rachaad White lacks. He does not hit the gap, bro. And that killed us today because we could have gashed him for some really good runs. And while Bucky Irvin can do that, he was getting hemmed up a lot by that defensive line with McNeil, DJ Reader, Hutchinson. Like, them guys was really active today, bro.
I agree. The one thing I will say, it shows you that how nasty or how great the weapons of the Buccaneers are. Mike Evans didn't have a good game. He had 6 targets, but he only had 3 catches for 42 yards. But Chris Godwin, it always feels like people always forget about Chris Godwin.
That boy,
I love me some Chris Godwin. And he made plays today. He had 7 catches, 117 yards. He had that 40-yard touchdown. He was great. He was great today. And this was a gut check game. This was one where not everything was going right, and for both teams in certain aspects. But the Bucs found a way to pull it out, while the Lions made really, really bad mistakes especially at crucial points. Like, case in point, when they're driving down at the end of the half and they have the false start, the time runs off and they can't even get the field goal off. So it's just look, it's going to be something. Great win by the Bucs when everything's not going right. They got the Broncos next week. They should beat the piss out that team, and maybe now we got to look at the Bucs more favorably. But let's move on to the next game.
Shout out the Bucs. Shout out
to the Bucs, because I know a lot of people would have picked them. A lot of people thought they were going to lose that game. But now let's move on over to Lambeau. The Indianapolis Colts were visiting the Jordan Love-less Green Bay Packers, and the Packers found a way to pull it out with, we can say a lot of things about Malik Willis, but he did not lose them the game today. He was used. This was actually like a coaching win, if anything. Matt LaFleur really showcased his ability as a coach today, and they found a way to pull it out, 16-10. They got AR-15 to throw 3 picks, and they really hemmed them up. Josh Jacobs was a monster. They just said, look, we're going to run the piss out the ball today, and there's nothing the Colts could do to really stop it. I understand the points don't reflect it, but I mean, Josh Jacobs ran for 150 yards on 32 carries. Malik Willis had some timely runs. He also didn't really put the ball in harm's way. He threw a touchdown pass today, but he was very well managed. But how do you guys feel about this game? How do we feel about the Colts? They're 0-2. How should we feel about these two teams in particular?
Oh, this was tough.
Malik Willis played. He played pretty good. I wasn't expecting for him to go all crazy. I wasn't expecting for him to even play. So the fact that he threw and he actually only missed 2 passes, threw for over 100 yards and a touchdown. Man, that's kind of like that means something. That means something. So,
No, he was managed. He was managed today. They only let him throw it 14 times.
yeah,
So they knew what they had with him and they managed him. Maybe it does say something that they did trade for him at some point. Maybe they saw something that nobody else did.
I know
And,
Josh got checked today.
yeah, do have a question after this, but let me let everybody else talk about this game real quick.
Riddell, you literally took my point, bro. I was going to say, I kept bringing this up. The Packers traded for this guy. It's not like they said, oh, man, let's pick him up. He might be a guy. The Packers downright traded for this guy. I think it was a good pickup by them. I don't think there is a single thing wrong with I don't think there's anything wrong with the Colts. I think the Colts just came to a game where they played a guy. They didn't know what they expect. They didn't know what he was going to bring. They didn't know what he was going to do. They got caught off guard. I definitely give them the benefit of the doubt to probably pull out a dub or a win next week.
My only thing that I'm gonna fight against that a little bit, Hefe. It's not like Malik Willis played for the Seahawks. He played for the Titans. They have film on him. I understand there's been a coaching change, but they are familiar with him when he was there. Sure, Tannehill was the main guy, but he did play a few times. The guy could throw the football when he was playing for the Titans. He was just a liability.
No, I mean, Randall, my bad. I'm not against that at all, dog. Like I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that the Packers, they have this ability to groom QBs. I don't know what it is. Now, I'm not saying they brought the best out of them. I'm saying they won with them, which says a lot.
Okay, I agree. And Tor, let me answer your question real quick, and then as you know what, let's talk about your first one. The Lions secondary does need to shape up. Terran Arnold was caught a few times today holding, and it just feels like he's still a rookie. So I'm not expecting him to be like Sauce Gardner off rip, but they got to clean it up over there in the Lions secondary. But let's answer this question for the foursome. After this week and the Rams 0-2 start, where do we start? Why McVay is considered a better coach than LaFleur, especially since LaFleur coached McVay's best offensive scheme. For me,
that's pretty simple, though.
My question is the fact that, first things first, I could be nasty and say, well, LaFleur did actually win in the playoffs. He did actually win. He was able to get the best out of Jared Goff. Sure, LaFleur was there, but he was able to get the best out of Jared Goff, and they just ran into Bill Belichick in one of the greatest defensive game plans we have seen since the turn of the millennium. But we've seen the fact that he's been able to win, even the fact that they've hadn't had first-round picks for a while, but they're still able to take teams to the playoffs, and he's overperformed as a coach. That's why I think with some of the talent some of the teams that he's had, while you can say LaFleur has underperformed. What about the losses to San Francisco?
Yeah,
that LaFleur has been. What about the loss to Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Bucs at home in the championship game?
I think McVay's been more consistent than LaFleur, and he has better playoff success. And honestly, I've seen McVay he's made more with less. Because, like, to me, when you had Jared Goff, his rookie season, or after that, I mean, and then you had Todd Gurley, and then you had all those guys, and you created like one of the best offenses of the 2010s. Like, that shows me, like, that's honestly, that's more impressive to me than what LaFleur's done with Rodgers, because Rodgers was already so good by the time LaFleur came. But LaFleur still, he does get credit from my end for rebuilding the Packers with Rodgers after McCarthy kind of left it in disarray a little bit. So I think they're both good coaches, but I have to give it to McVay. And ultimately, it's like, you won the Super Bowl. Like, McVay's won a Super Bowl. So I'm going to go with McVay every time.
So, mind you, go ahead, Mo. I apologize.
No, you good. Let's not also forget, I think Matt LaFleur may be a quarterback whisperer. And the reason why I say that is because Man, Jordan Love, he made a big splash when he made his debut. No. I'm sorry, not when he made his debut. It was later toward the back end of the season, but when he took off, he really took off. I think that Matt LaFleur is overlooked as an offensive coordinator, as a offensive coordinator. Not talking about as a coach, but as an offensive coordinator. I think he manages that offense very well, and it makes you think: is it these quarterbacks that's actually good, or is it Matt LaFleur that's making these guys look this good?
We've seen Green Bay do that with quarterbacks for a long time, so I'm not necessarily sure it's just because of Matt LaFleur. But I do see your point a little bit.
Well, I will say this, and we're not saying LaFleur is a bad coach. The man's clearly found a way to make the Packers still be playoff. Now, I think every coach at some point has dropped a game that they should have won, especially when they're their favorite. Like when you get Tom Brady to throw 3 picks in the NFC Championship game, you need to win that game. You just need to win that game.
Mhm.
But you made, like, for instance, you have Aaron Rodgers. He's the MVP. It's 4th down in 3, Michael. Now, I don't see. I think that a lot of people say that he should have ran for the touchdown. I legitimately think Devin White was going to catch him. I just don't think so. But the problem was you kicked the field goal and you just never got the ball back against one guy who just knows how to salt the game away. You watched him do it for damn near 20 years. You should have gone for the you should have gone for the touchdown. You should have gone for the touchdown.
Yeah.
But so let's go back and kind of focus on this game a little bit more. AR 15. He threw 3 picks today. For my opinion, he wasn't good. At one point, we had J-Rob come in and say he's Tebow too. Now, obviously, he's being a little nasty, but should we
even though J-Rob's been a big AR fan, though?
Yeah. Should we be concerned about what we've seen from? Obviously, the 70-yard touchdown he threw last week was magnificent. I can't remember the last time I saw a throw like that. But should we be concerned that he played this bad today?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it's definitely not a good performance, but I'm not necessarily concerned yet. I'm still, very impressed from last game, and I know it's a week by week thing. So this week wasn't good, but honestly, I see it as growing pains, and I'm not saying that I see AR being anything crazy this year, but I do think that, I don't know, it's kind of just a result of you come up against a team, your offensive line is not working well. The star players for the other team, like Clark and Rashawn Gary, they're doing their thing all game long. And I think it's also kind of a personnel thing with the Packers. Like, they were able to run the ball very well with Josh Jacobs. And that was something I said that I didn't see happening when we did the preview. So I have to honestly give credit to the offensive line, give credit to Josh Jacobs. And Random, I know you'll enjoy this, but if anybody has an apology to give, it is Mr. Riddell, who decided to skip off this podcast because he said that Josh Jacobs, he was just disrespecting Josh Jacobs. And he was saying that Aaron Jones clears Josh Jacobs, and all of a sudden, Josh Jacobs with 130 yards on 22 carries, looking like the old Josh Jacobs when he had 2,000 total yards. So Riddell MIA today, and I wonder why. That's probably part of it.
Well, I'm not gonna agree with J-Rob and say that Aaron Jones clears, but it is a fact that Aaron Jones is more versatile.
That was Riddell, not J-Rob. But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't the fact that he said that. It was just the disrespect he was putting on Josh Jacobs.
Okay. I mean, let's just say this. Aaron Jones had a nasty fumble today, but we'll talk about that game in a bit. We'll go ahead. And after this, I got one question to ask you guys, and then we got to move on. We got to start rapid fire some of these games.
Okay. All I wanted to say, man, people underestimate the Packers. I definitely did have an Indianapolis winning today, but I overlooked the Packers defense, man. They gave Philly a run for their money.
You mean Indy?
Of course, made some mistakes, but they really gave them a run for their money, and they're going to give any top contending offense, a hard time because of how good that pass defense is, and they have an average pass rush. So I think people overlook that, and I'm definitely not in a negative light when it comes to AR.
All right. Let's move. Oh, here's my question. So we saw how well coached the Packers were today. They obviously limited Malik Willis. They force fed Josh Jacobs, right? Can this work until Jordan Love comes back? Can this work until Jordan Love comes back? And let me give you the Packers schedule. For I think Jordan Love was going to miss what, 4 or 5 weeks? 4 or 5
Yeah,
weeks.
honestly, look, it doesn't even matter. Like they can afford to go like be a game under 500 and still compete to get in the playoffs. Especially, if teams like the Rams and the Cardinals, if the Rams are going to lose a little bit and the Cardinals end up competing, I think that opens up a lane for the Packers. So I think they just have to win maybe 1 or 2 games. I don't even think they have to play that well. I think Jordan Love has shown that he can put together stretches where you can go like 5-2 or 6-3 or that type of record in a certain stretch of games. So honestly, I think I'm really high on the Packers in general because they show that they're like a playoff team. Like this is a playoff caliber team. When you go into a game without your starting quarterback and win like this, even though they only won by 6 or whatever, I think that shows that they are a solid playoff team with a good quarterback. So
yeah, here are their next 4 games. They're going to the Titans, then they play the Vikings, then they're at the Rams, and they're at the Cardinals. And that starts a really tough part of their schedule because it's Cardinals, Texans, Jags, Lions, Bears, 49ers. So you'd like to have Jordan Love back by the Cardinals game, but let's see. Maybe they can figure it out. Obviously, we're gonna have some questions about the Rams, but let's move on to the next game here. It is the Jets beat the Titans today, 24-17.
This is a game I want to talk about.
Obviously, I don't think I'm a little.
Who did you expect to win, Random? Because you weren't here for
about this game. Aaron Rodgers short the sack numbers don't, but he was still running for his life today.
Yeah.
But I thought he played very well. Not his most efficient as we've seen Aaron Rodgers, but he didn't really put the ball in harm's way. He threw 2 touchdown passes today. But I thought what they should have, would have liked to see more is maybe a little bit more of Breece Hall on the ground as you're trying to get Aaron Rodgers back in the swing of things. But they found a way to win. Will Levis, of course, threw another pick, but he also threw a touchdown that I'm like, how did the safety not get that? But it was just thrown. It was just thrown in the right place for Calvin Ridley to catch it for a touchdown. So go ahead, Mike. I know you want to talk about this. Go ahead.
This is a game where everybody picked the Jets. Or not the Jets, the Titans. I'm pretty sure everybody but me. Okay, me and Mo. Okay, me and Mo were riding together on that one, and it worked out for us. Mm-hmm. And what I'll say with this is, I just can't trust the Titans, man. And I love Ladarius Sneed, man. Ladarius Sneed, one of my favorite players right now, especially at cornerback. But I just didn't see a world where Will Levis playing like he did, where they're winning that game. And Aaron Rodgers still looks very ginger for sure. But I do think that there is enough not firepower, but I'll just say talent on the Jets offense to where if he's getting the ball out quickly, that they can make something happen. And I said this on the preview of this game is that I think we're looking at a last season in Green Bay Aaron Rodgers type season this year. And with the defense they have, I think that could still be pretty decent for them. But this is a type of game that I'm talking about. Nothing ridiculously crazy, but you do end up winning the game. And it was a little bit scary, but that's usually how it happens when Rodgers doesn't play super elite in a game. Usually it's kind of scary, and then they end up winning. So, this is a good game for them, and it's a decent test, but they also got to, be prepared for better teams ahead.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the next game. 49ers lost 17-23 at the Vikings. Now, fun fact.
This is my lock, by the way.
Yeah, the Vikings have beat the 49ers the last 7 times they've played. So this isn't just a Brock Purdy thing. This was a Jimmy Garoppolo thing.
Right.
This was a whoever other quarterback thing. So
random. Because I could get nasty.
Mm-hmm.
I could get nasty. I'm not gonna lie. But I'll save the getting nasty for later.
Now, obviously, this game, the Vikings, it felt like at a certain point the Vikings gave away the game. Like when Aaron Jones is going in for what felt like the kill shot, and he fumbles it at the 1, and then the 49ers drive down for a little bit. But the Vikings found a way to win. And should we? And I want to start first. Should we put more respect on Sam Darnold's name?
Yeah,
he threw a 97-yard touchdown to Jettas, even though he did leave the game with an injury. But apparently that's he's not going to miss any time with whatever injury he had. But they found a way. They found a way to win, and the 49ers just weren't in sync.
I mean, random. He threw for 200 plus yards.
Mm-hmm.
What is a touchdown or 2?
He threw 2 touchdowns, and he did get a pick. But that was Fred Warner being Fred Warner on that pick.
Right. So, man, and Justin Jefferson had 133 receiving yards. Man, they playing like it's something going on over there in Minnesota, man.
Yo, I just think honestly,
they surprised me because I definitely had San Fran winning that game.
Yeah, no, it was tough. I mean, Brandon Ayuk was suspect. Brock Purdy looked decent at the beginning of the game, but just didn't result in any touchdowns. And I have to say, I mean, not saying Sam Darnold's better than Brock Purdy. I'm not definitively saying that, but I will say that Sam Darnold outplayed Brock Purdy handedly in this game. And I think it just comes down to the best player on that field was Justin Jefferson today. I mean, that one, the only thing I'll say is that one play where he beats both of those defenders on that deep cross. I mean, bro, that's unguardable. I mean, it's just unguardable. Like that coverage, the way that they were guarding him, not a lot of players make that play. So
hold on real quick. Neil Madrid, we've heard you. Skull.
Not top 5 defense, but
Skull.
Shout out you.
Hey,
God bless
man,
you.
not today they top 5 because they walked in. They handled.
Yeah, they top 5.
They handled one, if not the best team in the NFC today. And he paid $2. Put some respect on the Vikings top 5 defense. You got it, bro.
Yeah,
you got it, bro. That was a great win today. And I look, they found a way to win. But before I say anything else, Mo, go ahead.
I mean, it's not much. I mean, I just gotta tip my hat out to Sam Darnold. That was mostly, honestly, if you really think about it, that's the only guy on offense who needs to play their part. That's what they were really looking for, was a QB. And right now, Sam Darnold is playing that role, and he's playing it pretty good. So for me, I knew he was going to do okay today, but I didn't think that they were going to come in and come clutch like that. So, and he was going to come clutch like that. So, man, I definitely gotta give it to the Vikings, bro. Like that was a pretty good game.
All right.
Yo, I remember a lot of people saying, "Oh, Jettas ain't gonna do nothing with Sam. Jettas, you know what I'm saying? The offense gonna be hard to move with Sam."
We were just saying Sam's not good. I've never said that Jettas was gonna be bad.
No, I ain't saying it was you, Mike. I honestly, to be honest, I really can't remember exactly who it was. I do know it was said though. All I'm saying is get a guy a chance because he had Jettas. Dog, when you throw it to a guy like Jettas, it makes life great. Like I look forward to going to work. I got somebody that, you know what I mean? I got my guy. You know what I mean? I think I definitely, I didn't see this. I don't believe anybody saw this. But I definitely was willing to get a guy a chance. I didn't even think they was going to get the win today though. So shout out to Sam, bro.
All right. The next game we're going to is the Seahawks Patriots game. We don't really talk about this much. If you ask every Patriots fan out there, or Lonnie, the resident Patriots fan on here on the OFP, the Patriots did exactly what they're supposed to do. They played hard, but they lost in overtime because they're preserving the tank. They're preserving the tank. But for instance, I think the Patriots are a lot better than people thought.
Yeah,
they got their foundation is pretty well done. The Gerard Mayo is a good coach. Lamondre Stevenson, Antonio Gibson from the Commanders. That's a good 1-2 back duo for them. Geno Smith threw for over 300 yards today. DK Metcalf played well today.
Yeah,
he
he
caught
did.
40-yarder. And he took it over. He took it for a touchdown. Then he turned it to George Washington and led the troops over the Potomac over there. So the Seahawks played well. They're 2-0. Now, do we think that I still don't believe that the Seahawks are really gonna turn heads this year? But it's early in the season. I'm not gonna hate on nobody for getting a win, especially early in the season. But real quick, let's get your real quick thoughts about this game, then we can keep it moving.
Yeah, I saw this coming. I saw this being a close game and the Seahawks pulling it out. I just want to say shout out to Jackson Smith and Jigba. Should have played him. If I play him, I'm probably winning my fantasy matchup this week against Mo. Mm-hmm. So that's tough for me. But yeah, no, he's really good, man. And he's one of my go-to just sleeper picks for receivers.
Okay. Anybody else?
I definitely thought the Patriots was going to pull that game out, man.
They had chances, Hefe.
Yes, they did. They did. It just goes to show that they're a better coach team, as betray as what they betray. But man, did they not have nobody? They don't have nobody to really step up and be that person for them. I think next year they'll be a pretty solid team, though.
Well, I mean, if in terms of Hunter Henry, he was their main attack today. They had both Ramondre and Ramondre had 80 yards rushing. Antonio Gibson was a firecracker when he got in the game. He had 11 rushes for 96 yards. So I thought he was pretty good. They got something there. They need to get some receivers at some point who can make an impact for Drake May.
Yeah, that's what I mean, Randall. That's what I mean. No, I mean they don't got no X. They don't got no X. I should have said that.
Honestly, if you ask me, it's Jacoby Brissett.
I look at. Do you know the number? Do you know the receivers they have? You can put Patrick Mahomes with them receivers. That's maybe the one guy who could make it work. And even then, we'd have problems. This is not. The Patriots haven't been an explosive offense since Brady left. They haven't been. So this isn't like a new thing here.
Their wide receivers are better than what people think, though.
Oh no, they are not. Their wide receivers are mediocre.
How do you feel this? What evidence do you have that you have this statement?
I mean, Javon Baker. Javon Baker is a very talented wide receiver. A very talented wide receiver. Javon Baker could have
very talented.
And the fact that he's not even getting as much PT lets you know how good their wide receivers are. So that alone, I mean, you can't. It's no other way of saying it other than saying that Jacoby Brissett is not that. He's not that a field general, that game manager. He's not. And if you watch that game today, Jacoby Brissett is not capable of making those type of passes.
You didn't bring Jacoby Brissett in to have a great passing game. You really brought him in to mentor Drake May and not lose you games. We're not like they lost 23-20, and it wasn't like just because Geno Smith had 327 yards. That game was a tough slog.
I mean, it's because of that defense, Randall.
And that defense and
top 10 defense.
They both teams had a chance. Both teams had a chance to win the game in overtime, and the Seahawks just happened to pull it out.
They remind me of the Jets, like with like Zach Wilson, but they're obviously quarterbacks a little better. But like that type of team where their defense is actually going to be pretty dominant this year, but they probably won't have the offense to show for it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I want to talk about the Cardinals. Can we talk about the Cardinals?
Yeah, all right. Let's just do some rapid fire through some games. We'll go through Giants Commanders in a game littered with field goals. The Commanders found a way to pull it out, and Malik Neighbors really showed why the Giants drafted him where they drafted him. He had 10 catches, 127 yards, and a touchdown. Brian Robinson had 130 yards. Jaden Daniels did some good things, and it's just who had the ball last and who could kick the last field goal, and the Commanders found a way to pull that out. The Panthers continued their losing ways as the Chargers beat them 26-3.
Bro, before we go past the Panthers, bro, I didn't watch the Panthers game, but man, I saw a clip of Bryce Young, dog. I feel for that dude. I feel for that dude so bad, bro. And I'm so sorry for that dude going through what he got to go through, because I know life is hard right now, man.
No, it absolutely is. Obviously, if Early was here, he'd be saying, "Cut that dude. Let's
oh my God,
else, blah blah blah."
Oh, Early's gonna get so nasty now.
No,
the fact
absolutely.
that Bryce Young's gonna be bad again. Oh no.
I will say this. I mean, Herbert he didn't really need to do much today, but this is the second game in a row I've seen him take an unnecessary shot that he didn't need to. Like, for instance, he's stepping up in the pocket. He's trying to hit his running back on the left, and he took a completely unnecessary shot where I'm like, bro, just take the sack. Mm-hmm. Just take the sack. You are too important. Yeah, you are too important to Los Angeles for you to be doing that, especially as you're still trying to get what you're still trying to adapt to Jim Harbaugh's offense. And fun fact, the J.K. Dobbins is the first running back to have back-to-back 100-yard games since Melvin Gordon in 2017. But let's keep it moving. The Browns beat the Jags 18-13.
Riddell needs to address Trevor Lawrence. It's getting ridiculous now.
We do, because we didn't really. I mean, we learned that the Browns defense is still elite, but Deshaun Watson still didn't really move me in terms of how he played. No. But it was just an ugly game all around, because I know the Jags had a chance to win that game, but it just didn't work out. All right, the next game, we will skip over the Raiders game for now. We'll skip over it.
We'll let Early rock it.
Yeah, but the Cardinals.
Oh my gosh!
The Cardinals beat the piss out of the Rams 41-10 in a game where they had to exercise some demons from last week. Because in all honesty, they should have beat the Bills. They should have beat the Bills last week.
Man, isn't it fun to watch Kyler Murray throw Marvin Harrison Jr. the ball?
Oh, it's so fun when Marvin Harrison's on your fantasy team. It is so fun.
I mean, it was cool. And the one thing was they could have scored a lot more. They just couldn't figure it out on those back shoulder fades or in the red zone. But Kyler was electric. Obviously, you got to see why Marvin Harrison Jr. was drafted the way he was drafted with those 2 touchdowns. Yeah. But the Rams, Artur was bringing this up. Probably why he wanted to ask that question about LaFleur. Yeah, but the Rams they're leaking oil. They don't have Puka for a while. Now Cooper Kupp and like exited with an injury.
Yeah,
but I'll say this: the Rams will find a way to at least be solid this season because McVay, that's just what he does. But they're already starting to leak oil, man. The injury bugs bitten them pretty quickly. Should we be concerned about the Rams' prospects to even make it back to the playoffs this season?
Yeah.
I mean, I would just because I'm concerned about their offense without Puka. I think I thought that they'd be able to handle it, but I'm still confident that they're going to be able to handle it, post week 5, week 6. But as I said before the season, I picked the Rams to make the playoffs, and I still think that the Rams are the type of team you have to evaluate them at week 6. Let's see where they are then. And I do understand the concerns, but I just want to say, as much as we could talk about the Rams, I just really want to give my credit to the Cardinals. I mean, unbelievable job. Kyler Murray, and I'm going to get nasty here. Who would you rather have right now, Brock Purdy or Kyler Murray? Because I am going to go Kyler Murray, honestly. And I am also declaring the Arizona Cardinals as playoff contenders this season. I thought that the Rams would win actually today, but I did have the Cardinals as playoff contenders. But now that they've actually beat the Rams, look, all they need to do is beat LA again, and they are, very good contention to make the playoffs. So it's early in the season, but I just really love Kyler Murray, and I truly believe he can finish as a top 10 quarterback this season the way he's playing. He's just not like when Kyler Murray's on top of his game, he's one of the toughest players to defend out of anybody.
How he plays against San Fran.
What?
I think San Fran gonna beat the piss out this team.
Yeah, I think we need to wait until they pay somebody who is stout from head to toe.
Right. But all they need to do is beat the Rams. That's all. If they beat the Rams twice, their chances of making the playoffs are so much higher.
They kind of beat a half injured, they were already halfway done. They were already missing a tackle and a guard. And now they don't have Cooper. They don't have Puka. I mean, come on, bro.
I think Jonathan Gannon and this coaching staff is way better than you guys think. I saw Jonathan Gannon come up and have really good game plans on defense and offense for his teams against, good defenses and offenses last year. And I truly believe that if you look at how Kyler Murray played when he came back and how the Cardinals played, I truly believe that this season they are a playoff team if they can continue to throw the ball downfield at a decent rate. But I'm not saying that they're going to beat the Niners even this season. But what I am saying is the fact that they beat the Rams, and if they beat the Rams again, I mean, that just gives them such a good chance to make the playoffs in a tough division. So, that's all I'm going to say.
I can see why you say that. The Cardinals do have a few things that you really like. Now, obviously, I want to see and Jonathan Gannon did have this team ready to play last season. They were in some tough games where maybe if they were a little bit better, they could have pulled them out, right? So we'll see how they feel. Obviously, in terms of them making the playoffs, we'll see. The NFC is the weaker conference, and we could see maybe. And there's always a team that drops out, and a new team takes their place in the playoffs. Maybe the Cardinals could be that team, but also you have to remember, the Cardinals had a tough loss last week where they gave the game away to the Bills. And things were just happening right. Man, hell, James Conner literally fumbled the ball into another guy's hands for a touchdown. So it just felt like nothing was going to go right for the Rams today, plus the injuries. But this was a dominant win over a team that is even with the injuries that is usually very well coached. They just were the better team today, and they showed it. And now we have concerns about the Rams going forward. But we'll move on to the next game unless somebody else has something to say.
I'm gonna just say this. I can honestly see Cardinals being the number 2 in that division. So far, I can see them being number 2.
Mm-hmm. All right,
let's go. Come on,
all right.
So
now another rapid fire: Broncos versus Steelers. Justin Fields had to throw the weekend and it didn't count. That was a laser.
No, yeah. That's the throw of the year so far.
Like the laser that he threw to George Pickens.
Yeah.
And I'm so mad it didn't count. Because if Mahomes threw that, Riddell would be on here glazing his ass off.
He better glaze. He's not going to, but I'll do it right now. I'll say that's the most impressive throw of the season. And that's why
throw of his career. On the line.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
my
why
God.
people love Justin Fields, though.
And I want to say, bro, just like a lot of people wrote Justin Fields off, man.
I did. But this is
a lot of people, and I'm saying this for me and Early, because I know me and Early be standing on the table for Fields.
Did
a lot of people wrote Justin Fields off, bro, and I knew he just needed, bro. I really feel like the Bears organization is a bad organization, bro. It ain't really
good.
We're gonna get to that. I know we're gonna get to that random. I ain't trying to, but I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying the dude is a new and improved quarterback now.
Wait.
Let me fight back against that.
Let me say something real quick. All I want to say is,
go ahead.
I really just want to give credit to TJ Watt again for taking over another game against a quarterback that just wasn't really prepared. And as much as we want to talk about how good the Steelers are so far through the season, I want to say I told people that Bo Nix was going to have a good season, and I told people that the Broncos just don't have enough, and that's the reason why. It's not that Bo Nix is horrible, but they just don't have enough to make it work this year. And they obviously came up against two rough defenses. I understand that. But going back to Pittsburgh real quick, I just want to say their defense is so dominant that Justin Fields just doesn't have to do so much.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Justin Fields just he looks a lot more confident. He looks a lot more ready for plays. He's not making bad plays, and he's just doing enough to win. And for a guy who has struggled before in his career up to this point, I think, this, if he continues to play like this, he's going to have the starting job, and Russell Wilson's not going to play a snap for
I still think if Russell Wilson is healthy, he will take the job from Justin Fields. I understand that a lot of people wrote him off, but Hefe, a lot of people wrote him off for a reason.
Yeah, because he didn't play well.
Michael, you were there. We did the film sessions with Justin.
Dude, Fields. It was bad, man.
It was horrendous. Sure, we can blame the Bears, and the Bears do not know the best quarterback they've ever had in their history is Jay Cutler, and obviously the Bears are not known for developing quarterbacks, but he was bad. And it looks like a change of scenery has benefited him. But let's think about it. The Steelers have a good defense with arguably one of, if not the best defensive player in the league on his defense. They do a lot of things to make sure that Justin Fields does not hurt the Steelers, and also it helps that you played the Denver Broncos. I will say this: I don't think Bo Nix should have started off rip. I think having him do right now, he just looks underwhelmed. He makes horrendous decisions, like when they drove down the field and he threw a really bad pick, in my opinion. Not just to play, not just at the end when they're driving down to really make it a game. You just never believed in Bo Nix. But hey, if you're good, this is what you're gonna do. This hopefully you can handle taking the lumps and become a better quarterback. But I just don't see, if Russell Wilson's healthy, Mike Tomlin saying Justin Fields is my guy. I just don't see that.
Yeah,
and
happen.
Yeah, I just don't see that happening. And despite what Hefe you say or what Early says, Justin Fields, he still has a lot of work to do. And Marley said it. A fully healthy Russell Wilson comes in, and that Steelers offense is better. It just is.
I said that too, but I mean, if he plays like this random, he's gonna keep the job. If they continue to win, if they get off to a 4-1, 5-1 start, he's starting the whole year.
I would still give it to.
But random, we've seen this happen before. We've seen quarterbacks.
So then when the Ravens take him out to pasture and do him like they did Old Yeller,
we'll see.
What are we going to be saying?
If that happens, it'll be a different conversation.
But Mike, what is it that he did today that make you feel like he's going to be that guy?
I think it was that he didn't lose the game.
That's crazy coming from
He didn't lose the game. Like, that's one thing we gotta give Fields credit for. He's lost the game before. We've watched him lose games. He won today. He didn't put his team in the position to lose either, bro.
That offense too, as much as Justin Fields hasn't done anything crazy, it's not about that. The Steelers play football to where, we're going to ride with our defense. And as long as our offense is making enough plays to cover for our defense, we're good. And as much as Russell Wilson might be able to make the throws better and run this offense better, I still believe that, having Justin Fields in a position where he's not turning over the ball a lot and he's getting rid of the ball quickly and running the ball for a lot of yards, that opens up your offense and can make your offense pretty well if you can make it work. So I will say, all I'm saying is it's not as simple. Like, he's going to have to lose himself the job at this point, honestly.
I mean, look, I will. Oh, Mo, go ahead. Mo, you're muted, by the way, if you're talking. You're muted. We can't hear you. Now you're good.
I think the first opportunity that Pittsburgh is able to get an official quarterback, they're gonna take it. What's up?
I mean, Justin Fields needs a little bit more seasoning, and Artur was right. You need to think long term for Fields. Being serious, even Justin Fields said it today. Like Russell Wilson, I think they all kind of understand Russell Wilson's the best guy to help. Like, he's the best guy to help the Steelers win this season. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Justin, but it was a good enough win. Like Hefe said, that he didn't lose the game for them. So we'll see what happens. But let's move on to the next game. Oh boy, let's move on to the next game. The Bears or the Sunday night game, the Bears lost to the Texans 13-19. And my goodness, the Texans heated Caleb Williams up to the point where Caleb Williams showed a lot of things that I really liked, but the problem was they just never let him get comfortable, because the few times they did, he killed them. And like Jesus, Lonnie has been very high on the Texans this year. He's had the bold proclamation that he doesn't think they'll lose more than 2 games this year. They kicked Caleb's ass today, and I think Caleb showed a lot of heart, but it's just a lot of timing things, a lot of things that it's going to take time for Caleb to learn. But CJ Stroud, they found a way. They found a way to win. They found a way to hold on. Nico Collins had a big play. But how do we feel about this game?
I mean, they're just.
I loved it, man. I loved it. I love Caleb Williams, man. I think Caleb Williams, don't lose that fire you got, man. You have every skill that it takes to be a quarterback. I love how he held it together. He still made plays before and after the 2 interceptions. He has a team around him, a team that supports him. I think he's going to be great in the future. And yeah, Texans definitely played their asses off. I'm mad, Joe Mixon didn't go off today. I was a little bit mad about that, but Nico.
I thought he was done when I saw his ankle. When you saw the ankle injury, I thought he was done.
Yeah, but I knew he was going to be okay though. He just slightly rolled it. Those guys are extremely flexible, so I knew he was going to be. I knew he was going to be all right. But,
all right. Anybody else?
One thing I'll say is, I'm just really impressed with the Texans. They've just played really sound football through the first 2 weeks. We all know CJ Stroud can have those games where he's absolutely dynamic, but to me, it's about the games that he's not, insanely dynamic. What do they do? And they're just playing sound football. They're running the ball. He's not doing too much. He's making the right plays. And there's still a lot of room for improvement on how good this offense can be. I mean, the Tank Dell connection is not there at all right now. So if that can improve, that can make their offense better.
Bad drop today too, Michael.
Yeah. But I want to segue this. He had 2 bad drops at least. He did not play well. But I'm not necessarily worried either. He's still getting open. So that just needs to. I think he's just kind of overthinking. I'd assume after a bad first week, you go in there, you want to make the right plays, you drop a couple. That's whatever. But I want to segue to the Bears. As much as I agree, Caleb Williams showed flashes, but I want to segue this to the point that I said. The first week. And this is not caping for Caleb Williams. If Caleb Williams plays bad, if he has a Bryce Young type of season, I'll be the first person to admit that I was wrong about him being the rookie of the year and everything like that. But this offensive coordinator and this coaching staff, I just don't understand. I mean, it's one thing to play bad. It's another thing, like Caleb Williams had his moments, but he still looked lost out there today. And that type of stuff is super concerning to me. And I mean, Jaden Daniels has just played considerably more steady and just more consistent overall. And I look at the coaching, I look at the coaching staff, I look at the offensive coordinators. You got Cliff Kingsbury, who's already a solidified head coach in the league. And I think it's important to address that because we've already seen them fumble Justin Fields. Like Justin Fields has probably looked as good, if not better, the last 2 weeks than he ever did in a Bears uniform. So I think that this needs to be noted, needs to be looked at going forward during the season for sure.
We had this conversation all off season, right, Michael, where I said, look, if you're going to draft Caleb, then get rid of the entire coaching staff and bring somebody new in. So you have a fresh,
they didn't do that.
You have a fresh coach and a fresh quarterback and work with that. They want to give Eberflus another chance. All right, then. The defense, let's not keep it a stack. The man, Eberflus, is doing his job on the defensive side of the ball. The Bears defense is good. Some people you could even
just
argue
the offense.
It's just the offense. The fact that O-line and the fact that the best way to beat Caleb right now is to just blitz him because he just doesn't have the time. He can't read that quickly, and their Bears O-line is not protecting him. They had 7. I'm looking right now. They had 7 sacks. 7 sacks, and I'm like, Jesus, bro, like.
Yeah, he was
Like,
running.
so it was just one of those things where hopefully they get this fixed. There is a lot of promise with Caleb, but this is where I want to talk, because me, Riddell, and Lonnie have had this conversation where they expect Caleb to make the playoffs in year one, and I'm like, no, he's still a rookie.
Yeah.
Like, he still got to learn the game, still got to see stuff. He's never seen an NFL defense before, and I'm just thinking, I think you guys are being unfair just because of how stacked that you guys believe the team is. Like, it's just that's a lot of expectations for a rookie quarterback.
Well, also, it's like, to what you're saying.
Let me just quick though, Mike. You know, I understand that you, Mike, that you don't feel like, you know, Caleb Williams, he has some concerning things about him, but you got to also understand that if you watch that game, even though he played against a dangerous ass defense, he still confidently stepped up into the pocket.
CJ?
No, Caleb Williams.
Oh, okay.
He showed a lot of things, man. He didn't he didn't back down just because he was getting hit a lot.
With confidence. Even though the pocket was breaking down, he still stepped into the pocket and still made plays. He made plays. So, and that's why I said there's a lot of promise. I mean, more than enough promise with Caleb Williams.
Oh, absolutely.
Right now,
we're not saying that he's trash. We're not saying that, Mo. We're just seeing some things that if the Bears are trying to take the step they're going to take, especially with how some people on this show believe that they should be making the playoffs in year one, he got to get a little better, but he also needs to be protected, right? He also needs to be protected. Yeah. Go ahead, Michael. What were you going to say?
He just needs a little bit more discipline. I mean, it's clear that, you know, it was probably pretty easy for him playing in USC and just being able to do anything you want to do on the field. That's not going to happen in the NFL. But I do feel like he's a fast learner, so I expect that to like straighten away by weeks, 6 to 8. But yeah, when it comes to, playing against established defenses that, have experience together, it's going to be tough at the beginning of the year for this Bears team. I mean, also the Bears team has to redefine themselves as winners. That's something they haven't been in a while. And, as a rookie quarterback, that's a lot of leadership and expectation you have to do. And is Caleb Williams ready for it in year one? I mean, we'll see. It's still early, but, there's a good chance that they don't make the playoffs, especially if the Packers continue to trend upward and then get Jordan Love back. But I just need to see him have a little bit more discipline and just look a little bit more sound in the pocket. There's just too many plays where he has happy feet and he doesn't really know what he's doing with the ball still. But I think it's definitely an improvement from week one though for him.
All right, let's go to the last game that we really need to talk about. I want to spend some time on this for real. The Bengals lose 27-25 or 26-25 to the Chiefs in a game where Mahomes was bad.
Yeah.
Low key, you could argue, short of the Super Bowl, this was arguably the worst game he's ever played. And I don't know what he was reading out there. He was saved a few times. God, that pick that he threw that was called back was like, what are you doing? Like,
bro, the refs are blown. My bad, random. I'm so, it was just why you was there. I wanted to say this. Mm-hmm. The refs are blowing me the way they're caping for Mahomes, bro. And it's really ugly to see, bro. It's really ugly to see because y'all just need to let the man play ball. But man, I really feel like the refs are caping for Mahomes.
It was some stuff that I really didn't like in terms of, but also let's not sit here and say that the Bengals didn't do some things. Like, for instance, Joe Burrow was trying his hardest to get Jamar Chase to calm down when he was going at the ref, right? I can get it. Jamar Chase dealing with whatever his contract situation with the Bengals, right? And then he thought he was hip drop tackled. He was not. Not L'Jarius Sneed. Trent McDuffie just had him in a body bag today. He was just frustrated. But you're seeing Joe Burrow in front of you. Hey man, get out of here, get out of here. They just made really bad mistakes. Like, for instance, Mahomes throws the second pick. By the way, the catch of the year by Cam Taylor-Britt, who spoke. He came out and said, "Hey, This guy just does. He says Xavier Woods is not as good as y'all try to say he is, and he definitely backed up his talk with the catch of the year, and that was it right there. They had the momentum. Mike Gesicki drops an easy pass that was in his hands, right? Then the next two series of plays were bad, and obviously Joe Burrow fumbles on fourth down. It's just one of those, like, of course the safety picks it up and runs it back for a touchdown. They had a chance they had Kansas City feel like they won the ropes, but it just didn't work out. Obviously the refs, but in a game where Mahomes is basically handing you the game, you refuse to take it. And this is why people, like, especially guys like people like Riddell, say that there's never a doubt with the Chiefs, because for some reason you just hand the game away. Joe Burrow was good. He could have been better, right? He made a few big mistakes, but you have to win this game. With the way Mahomes is playing, you have to win this game, especially if he's throwing up 50-50 bad decision balls like that.
Yeah, I was going to say that was a pretty good breakdown overall. Just to add a few things about Xavier Worthy, I think this offense is going to be clean. Getting those 20, 30-yard, either whether it's deep bombs or like jet sweeps or gadget plays that you get a lot of yards, you're going to need that. I still really like Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice played really well. That was probably a big reason why Patrick Mahomes played well in the times that he actually did this game. But I think another thing that can't go understated, the cornerback room for the Chiefs, Trent McDuffie and the whole squad, that's something that said in week one, and people didn't like that because they're like, oh, it's week one, don't overreact. But you're able to play a very good defensive game again. It's just clear that I think Joe Burrow is definitely trending upward with health. He looked a lot better today.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't make that many mistakes. But at the end of the day, he had that really bad play. The Chiefs just found a way to win. That's always how it happens. But Jamar Chase, he had to have to missing the preseason and training camp, you could tell it's taking a little bit of a toll on him. So he's got to get his headspace right.
I just think today was just frustration boiled over with the defense he was facing, the fact he couldn't really be himself, make plays, and possibly a little bit of his contract situation in the back of his mind. But I think he'll be okay. It's just every player's had one of these where they just lose their mind on the field one time. I think he'll be okay. But like I said before, the Bengals should be at home right now, mad they gave this game away, because that's what they did. They gave it away. Mahomes was bad. Like, I'll say that one more time. Mahomes was bad.
Yeah.
Thoroughly outplayed by Joe Burrow. And some of the decisions that he was making were so atrocious that for a guy who were prepared to put him in very high conversations, he was really bad.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Early made a comment in the chat. I couldn't agree with that about the Burrow and Mahomes situation.
I mean, he was better. He was better. Like Burrow was better today. But hey, man, they're the two-time champions. You gotta beat them. They're just not gonna let you. You gotta finish it out. So Artur, from the best of my knowledge, he just had a sit-in holdout. He didn't actually practice. So if those are you make those kind of decisions, you have consequences. But hey, man, the man's trying to get his money, so I'm not gonna hate on him for that. Hefe, do you want to add on? You want to add into this game?
No, y'all covered just about everything. All
right, we're gonna save the Raiders game for Monday after we talk about the Atlanta game. But I'm so mad the Raiders gave that game away. I'm so mad.
I'm gonna just say this, man. Look at him. I'm mad Mike left a little too early. I just wanted to end this out, man. Look, man, come on, you can't overlook New Orleans right now. I said it before and I said it again. Derek Carr he's playing for his career, for his legacy. That's what he's playing for right now. If it does not work out, it won't work out anywhere else. So man, he's gonna make it happen. Derek Carr is here to play. So when you say he gonna lose, make sure you got a good enough, valid enough reason to make me believe that Derek Carr is gonna lose this game. That's all.
Look. He was hot today. But let's not sit here. I mean, I know it's early. It's really early. But let's not sit here and start putting it in Mahomes talks, bro.
No,
all right?
no. But see, I can't do that.
Wait, who we putting Mahomes talks?
No. But Mo, we getting ready to close the show out. I do want to ask you guys a little bit about the Eagles and Falcons game, but Mo's really still feeling himself. The Saints did what they did, and as this is right as a Saints fan, you go ahead, stick your chest out a little bit, Mo. Let the people know.
Mo's hyped.
Listen, Maya. I just want you to know, man. When you say when we have that conversation and we list the amount of teams that's going to have a good week, bad week,
Bro, it's one game, Mo. Oh my God!
Let him cook today. Let him cook today, man.
You're dragging it though, bro. Like, oh my gosh, and it's all directed to me. Like, chill out. Bro. Like, we get it. Your team is 2-0, Mo. We'll see if they make the playoffs.
Chill. Let's go ahead and chill. Let's end it on this, man. The Falcons and the Eagles are facing off Monday night. The Falcons,
just to let that be known.
Yeah, the Falcons, we're trying to see if they can bounce back from a tough loss. Last week where Pittsburgh, all they did was kick field goals and they still and beat them. So can the Falcons bounce back? Can we see a better performance from Jalen Hurts, especially since we learned that A.J. Brown will not be available tomorrow? He will not be available. So for those of you that bet, maybe think about hitting the over with Smitty, but I don't know. I don't bet. But let's talk about it real quick. Let me get your picks. Who's winning tomorrow between the Eagles and the Falcons? Let's start with you, Mo.
I think the Eagles gonna win that. The Eagles gonna win that.
All right, Michael.
Yeah, give me Falcons. This is my upset of the week.
Oh, Falcons. But Hefe.
Call me crazy. I see Jalen Hurts having another ugly win. I'm gonna say it again.
Okay.
Another ugly win. It's gonna be. He's gonna make the plays. Him and Saquon are gonna make the plays, but they're gonna get the win.
All right, Marley. We know how you feeling in the chat. The Eagles. He said the Eagles winning 35-21. As for my pick, I don't care enough to make a pick. So y'all just gonna have to live with that.
Come on, Riddell. Come on, bro.
Nah. Because I'm not even gonna be able to watch the game. I'm gonna be working, so I won't be able to even watch it. So I don't want to pick a game that I won't be able to watch. So
I can dig that.
So I will say this. It's been week two was a week of upsets and surprising scores.
Mm-hmm.
Some teams let some things go, but it's still early in the season. Some of these 2-0 teams might be 4-13 at the end of the season. Who knows, man? I don't know. I ain't trying to say nothing, but hey, I love this. This just shows you why we love football as much as we do. We will see you guys tomorrow for our reactions to the Monday night game. I'm sure some of the usual suspects will be here in terms of Riddell, Lonnie, early, some of them, because some of them probably want to get their takes off on some of the games that happened today. I know Early will definitely have something to say about that Ravens game, and he'll probably get nasty, say call Ramar running back or blah blah blah, whatever. But
it's gonna be so nasty.
He's gonna be so nasty. Like I might have to call in for work or something, because
dog.
But we're gonna go right after the game, Artur. So I'm in the West Coast, so the game starts at 5:00 for me, so probably around 8:00 my time. So 11:00 if you're on the East Coast. Like we're gonna go on right after the game, probably go for about an hour, and then Wednesday we will see you at 8:00 Eastern for the next episode of the podcast. We're gonna be reacting to week 2, breaking things down in its entirety, picking our rookies of the week, our offensive, defensive players of the week, who had the underrated performance of the week and who had the most overrated performance of the week. So, it's going to be some, and there might be a little change to the schedule since we're going to have so many reaction games, fellas. So just let you guys know. But hey, man, we thank you all so much for rocking with us. I know it's late, and we did a little bit over, but we will see you guys tomorrow, Mo, go ahead, stick your chest out, my boy. Yeah, Hefe, go ahead, stick your chest out, my boy.
Oh, you already know.
Michael, good luck.
Better have the Player of the Week award, Offensive Player of the Week award.
Hey,
Look,
real
I
quick,
don't make
15
those
seconds.
decisions.
Shout out the boys that are here to address the things that they got right and address the things they got wrong.
Yeah,
and
Mike.
the people not here that aren't getting held accountable, a.k.a. Rodell. We'll see ya. We'll see you next time.
Hey, you know Early wasn't going to crawl from underneath that rock today.
Yeah, but Early gets a pass. It's just Rodell that I'm angry about, honestly.
Well, I know early was hot. He did not hit his parlay because the Chiefs couldn't win by 6.5. So I was like, that's what you get. But make sure you follow us on TikTok and Instagram. We just dropped our week 1 award. So Artur, if you want to know who we picked for week 1, go to Open Field, go to the Open Field podcast on Instagram and see who our awards are.
Yes,
and
sir.
Thank you guys so much for rocking with us.
Yes,
make sure you follow us, Mo, Hefe, so I can tag y'all on the things so we can make sure y'all get your proper respect for the picks.
Come on,
right?
bro.
Yeah,
Most definitely. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
But that's it, fellas. Let me let y'all, because I got an early morning tomorrow. Thank y'all so much for rocking with us. Week 2 is almost in the books. Football is in full swing at this point, and we're going to be doing this till February.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you guys again on Monday. Bye, guys.
Yes, sir.
Woo.
Sir.
Yes,
That was
sir.
good, guys. Good